I want to ask you about how you maintained your role with your husband and also with the other two children, not just in that difficult period, but as time went on. How you hinted earlier to me that with all that time you spent looking after Harry in hospital, you felt that there was something could be lost, and looking at it just from my point of view, just the time factor is going to have a massive burden.
Absolutely.
So what was your reflection looking back on whether that was an issue with the other two children particularly?
I think that the other two children, you know, they did feel it, but I've always been very honest with my children and explained, and they knew if it was them that it'd be exactly the same, you know. They knew at this moment in time that we had to get through the following, what we thought would be 12 months was going to be very different to what we knew as routine, but after that we'd get back to how we were. But it was just a bad time that we needed to get through to get Harry better and to get our normality back. And they were just the best kids ever, you know. They loved the brother to bits. And it was hard, and when they come to the hospital, obviously my husband would sit with Harry and I'd go out, and me and my son and daughter would have our time.
Actually, that's a very good tip right there, that even in that very intense zone of the medical treatment and actually in the hospital, you would still give the other kids some time for themselves, because otherwise they're missing out on everything that's valuable from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, you know, they knew as well that their dad was just terrible in hospitals, you know, he was the first to admit it. And they understood me being there, because you saw some parents that would do a role swap, you know, and mum would stay or dad would stay. But for me, it was me forever staying. But that was because that's, you know, that was better for us.
Yeah.
And it feels, you know, too little of what we could do for Louis and Danny, but they knew that we did the best that we could, you know. It's but it has, you know, it's impacted on their lives massively, you know. And they, you know, when Harry was diagnosed at the age of 7, really, his brother was 10 and his sister was 13. So all they remember really is cancer, you know, from their childhood. They probably don't even remember before. You know, they just remember the journey.
It's been a big part of their lives.
Absolutely, yeah. It's, you know, it was 5 years, so which is a huge time for them.
Yeah.